All right, let's talk a little bit about methods that return booleans. Now, we've done a lot of methods that return strings and ints and doubles. We haven't done very many that return booleans. Now, we have done one that does this, the equals method that we learned recently for strings. So s1 dot equals s2, that either is going to say, yes, they're equal, this is true, or false, this isn't, they aren't equal. So methods that are like this are super useful because we can use them as conditions in our if statements. So a lot of times on the AP test, you're sitting there and you're trying to write your if statement and you're going, well, what do I put as my condition? Well, if you see a method that returns a Boolean, there's a really good chance that that's what you're supposed to be putting in your if statement to check a certain condition. So my method down here, what it's doing is it's doing what we were doing earlier, checking whether you receive credit for a class. And you have to get less than 6 absences, and you have to have a grade greater than 70. If both of these are true, it's going to return true. If either of these are false, it's going to return false. And so I can use this in my if statement here. So if you receive credit, and I check this, so 4 hops in here, 4 is less than 6, so that's a true statement. 85 is greater than or equal to 70, that's a true statement. So our and winds up being true. So both of them are true, so it returns true, so we did receive credit. So if we received credit, which we did, it says you received credit. Otherwise, it would have told us otherwise. If you don't receive credit, do you see how that works? The not there. Again, you don't want to have a statement where you don't have anything here and you wind up putting something else. So if you receive credit, do nothing. If you didn't receive credit, do this other thing. That's a really sloppy way to write this. So you'd really prefer to say, if we don't receive credit, then do this thing, okay? So now, when it's your turn to write these methods yourself, I have a lot of people who are tempted to write them like this, okay? If our conditions are true, return true, else return false. That's not wrong, it works. And sometimes they'll even write these really convoluted, like, if this is true, return true. Else, if, and they'll do like an if statement inside an if statement, which sometimes you have to do, but usually if you find yourself doing that, if you find yourself with this really nasty if statements inside if statements inside if statements, ask yourself, okay, can I change this into one statement with an and or an or maybe multiple ands or multiple ors, okay? Because if you can do that, that really simplifies your code. A lot of these methods on the AP test can be done in one line. You just say, if this and this is true, we're going to return true. So we're either going to return true if this whole thing is true, or false if this whole thing is false. We don't need a big if else there. So again, it's up to you how you write it. I really like the cleanliness of that one-liner in most of these cases, though.